Hello everybody, welcome to the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. Today is Friday, May 27th, and we're here taking a look at what's been going on this week for Marvel Avengers Alliance. You'll have to forgive me if I'm really salty in this video. This is like the 7th or 6th time I've recorded this. There keeps being something wrong every time I record this. Either like the voice isn't coming through or it's not recording. I'm just really at my wit's end with this particular episode. I don't know what's been going on here, but let's jump into it. As you may be able to tell, the background music today is from Cowboy Bebop. It is the Cowboy Bebop OST. I definitely consider this one of the most all-time greatest animes. And aside from that, I think it is one of the best animes with music. The musical score in this is really good, and it ranks right up there with like Bleach and Fooly Cooly for me. And speaking of Fooly-Cooly, we are getting another season of Fooly Cooly coming up if everything goes well, along with a new Voltron, so let us jump into it. The first thing we're going to take a look at is PvP. So for me, the worthy are out. They are out of defense and they are out of offense. I am now a worthy-less or unworthy. Haha. This is my offensive team, still suiciding, but now Cloak and Dagger is in and Spitfire is in. It was Cloak and Dagger and Null and like Angrier and Null and everything like that. They're gone. Spitfire's in to give me the chance at the early turn and maybe destroying somebody. And I still have the Corned Beef, the Vampiric Sword, the Chalice, the Mystic, the Ionic Devourer. This Ionic Devourer is the volatile slot over here. I may want to move in a Signpost here, or the Scroll of Runemeroth, mostly because the Ionic Devourer misses like a champ. Which means that I was really, and I knew this, I was crutching on the Scroll of Runemeroth, or the Black Scroll, for a long time to basically erase my need to enforce hitting somebody. And now that I don't have it, these two are fine. My agent just is mighty Casey at bat. I mean, he strikes out like, you know, some 0 and 60 baseball team. He's pretty awful with that, minus, of course, the Corned Beef. The Mystic is in because the Lamp doesn't do me any good when you suicide. Multifunctions don't tend to work well. So the Mystic is actually better than the Lamp, and it's range, so it doesn't cause a drain on Scutum. The worst thing for me to face is a Deb using Scutum wearing Ethereal Agent. I don't like them. Along with like Cloak and Dagger and say a Null or a Worthy. My defense is comprised of the free action Magneto Shield, the Lantern of Doom, the Cube, the Cognitive Foreboding Device, and the Deb. Now, you're going to see that and go, excuse me, Mr. Napalm, I think I recall you saying that the Deb is a bad thing to run on defense because of how often enemy agents will use the Deb on defense, and then they just swipe away with it, and they don't use the cube, or the lantern, or the scroll. It kind of makes you a little bit of a hypocrite, doesn't it? Well, Tommy, in the back of the class, thank you for pointing that out, but the Deb is here because of Cloak and Dagger. Now, the deal is, the Deb was very good for a while when it just shut down the Worthy. Kurth, Null, it's like, see you, goodbye. I mean, it's like Genji in Overwatch. It's like, use the Force. Well, then it took the nerf against Subtle, and, you know, Kurth was walking through it, Null was walking through it. the deb kind of faded in its use, but now, see, it's being twinsy with Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger's level 2 is so important, but it's not subtle. It's just stealthy if you activate stealth. The deb is a strong independent blade and needs no stealth to be complete. It only is concerned with subtle, so the deb can shut down Cloak and Dagger's level 2. Even if it doesn't, it's very threatening. It's a sign over a cave that says there is a family of very hungry bears in here. Do not throw rocks or poke. If you see a deb and you have Cloak and Dagger, you better rethink about doing your level 2. If you have one of the all-important debuff ISOs on the level 2, like I have Endemic, the pesty one, whiffing on your level 2 causes a massive 6-round cooldown. You don't want to whiff on that. So as long as the deb is up, the threat is always there, and you're like, shit, I don't want to do it. So that's why I'm running it. Could it be possible that my agent is swiping away with the deb and costing me not using the cube and not using the lantern? Yeah, but it's the risk you could take because they are risky. So, let's jump into the sale that was released today and cause refreshes for a few people. We have the Deathlock set. I don't know what to say about this. I don't know why we have this set already. We just got it. I mean, it's not like little Timmy started playing the game yesterday. Is like, I really want that Deathlock set. We just had it. The chances are people have this, and chances are people probably have it complete. It wasn't that hard of a spec ops to get the stuff, so this isn't a cash grab. This is just kind of like floating a paper airplane out there. But moving that aside, let's talk about the set and let's see what can it actually do. I kind of consider the set a 3-piece. I basically think of it as the fist, the launcher, and Quick Straw McCraw over here. The way that I think the set works best is using this as a quick action, hoping that procs in the same round, and then fisting somebody to death. This thing hits like a truck stuck to the front of a train. That's a Japanese bullet train that does like 200 miles an hour. You know the one from Wolverine, like when he's got the claws and the Japanese train and it's like going really fast and yet it's not actually ripping him off of his claws, but yeah, that's the Deathlock Fist. It's good. And it's energy and tech, which means it likes the rectifier and it likes tech upgrade. If you had the rectifier, tech upgrade, and you packed on the fist against somebody with pressure points or power gun, just good night, Saigon. People are going to get deleted. The speed blade actually has use with this set. You can tie the speed blade to it. Here's what I'm talking about. Let's take a perfect world scenario. You have the fist, the launcher, the pistol, the speed blade, and something else. Round 1, you use the pistol. It causes the plasma launcher to put out some pressure points on people. You fist somebody, maybe you've killed them. Your heroes clean up, that person's dead. Round 2, use the speed blade. You got 3 rounds over here on the fist and 3 rounds on the speed blade. And now on the 3rd round, you're probably going to have to do something a little less important. Do whatever you want. The Deathlock Cannon's not bad. I just think it's the lowest of these 3. This little reverse L formation over here is the best way to use the set. It's got good synergy with people like Shocker and Captain Britain, anybody who likes energy stuff, Havoc, all your pressure point people. This is really good with. It actually goes pretty well with Deathlock Et, especially if you had the rectifier. Speaking of stuff that's on sale, I want you guys to look at the dates over here, okay? May 31st, end of the PvP season. June 3rd, end of the Spec Ops. Okay. Just be calm for a few moments here, and we'll talk about this like rational adults. Somewhere in June, on the American shores, we're gonna have the X-Men Apocalypse movie. Maybe people like it, maybe people don't. Whatever. There's gonna be a nice gap in all the plot and all the story in this game. We're not gonna have a new Spec Ops. We're not gonna have a new PvP. You know, hopefully until 2-3 weeks after this one ends, not a day or later that week like the crazy bastards did. We're certainly not going to have a Spec Ops. Playdom, we're begging you, be cool. We know you can't do anything in relation to the movie. You didn't do anything for Deadpool. We know you can't do anything for X-Men Apocalypse. We know. But like the Wakandan trappers, you could give us a nice little hat tip, a little gentleman's cheerio hat tip to the movie. Give us the Four Horsemen set, and dear God, please give us the one thing that would tie into the movie that a lot of us want. And it's on a lot of our wish lists, especially for those who got the weaker versions of it. I think you know where I'm going with this one. The fucking Hand of Apocalypse! Give it to us! You can do it! You can finally fucking do it. And let me reiterate that for those in the cheap seats. The Hand of Apocalypse! Lips. God, Playdom, you can do it. You're setting yourself up for a gap here in all of these plot items and things that might be on sale. You've got a nice little dip, a nice little lull there. Do it. Give it to us. You can do it on this one. We know you can't do new material for the movie, but this is existing material, and like a 1920s Prohibition speakeasy, we could just knock on the door and be, the password is Wolverine. Let us into the club and give us a straight up shot of Apocalypse. Nice little jigger of Apocalypse. Like, you can do it. You can do it. Like, we know you can. It's nothing new. You've done old sets before. I mean, look, like the winner, we got the pneumatic nailer. We got the Magia Triggerment. Both of those were really on people's lists. The Scroll of Rudamaroth has been up twice. The Lantern has been up twice, and that's a cash grab. You know that's a fucking cash grab. People would go monkey shit insane if you gave us the Hand of Apocalypse. So just do it. Come on, you know you can do it. Just do it. Just give it to us. Screw the ball into the staff and give the staff into my hand and just... I'm not saying Boom Buster's that great right now, but Boom Buster can be pretty good against Boom Marvel, and it is pretty good against Cloak and Dagger. So it's got some use, but all the other things about it, just give it to us. Alright, enough of that. So, the Spec Ops. Don't have the Dino Claw, don't have the Panther's Blade, aka Bishinga Part 2. I really want this, I'd be okay with that. Over here, I do have the Temporal Blaster. I do not have the Bifurcator, which is supposedly taking a little bit of a nerf. I feel like the Temporal Blaster is a pile of shit. It's not a steaming pile of shit, but it's a pile of shit. I've used it to exploit opportunity, and I don't see a lot of damage on it. I've used it only against opportunity. I've not done shield and opportunity, but what's the chances you're going to get opportunity and shield? It doesn't do enough damage for such a large cooldown. The out of time buff is only 1 round, and it's removable. You really missed the ball on this one, Playdom. This one's just, it's awful. It really is. Okay, it's energy. It goes well with the rectifier. It is temporal, but this is just a bad gun. Who cares about this thing? Here in Mission 3, I do have the ring. Yay. I do not have the baby's arm holding an apple, unfortunately, but this is what I really want from this. And then here in the final Kang mission, I do have the leeching ISO, but I do not have the neural disruptor or any of the other pieces of gear. Now, with the leeching ISO, you can make a very, very good defensive cloak and dagger with intangible and the leeching ISO. I don't think the leeching ISO bumps up the cooldown of the debuff. I haven't tried it yet, although I have it. And, you know, an intangible cloak and dagger, and then somebody who might restore some health on using that, that's pretty good. That really is. I'm a little more aggressive in my defensive cloak and dagger. She is using covert, kind of obvious, but she's, they are using risen force, which bumps up their buffs and everything like that. Intangible, you can make a really good case for an intangible, and I would listen to it. And, you know, along with the leeching ISO, that's a pretty robust cloak and dagger to put on defense. Now, speaking of the covert ISO, we were talking about this on the stream today. Why is it that when we see cheaters running multiple scutum, why is it always multiple scutum and never multiples of any other ISOs? You never see double blaster, you never see double covert, double tactician, revitalizing. You never see double scrapper. It's always double scutum. That makes me think it's not a cheat or a hack that did that. It might have been a fuck up. And it might be Playdom's fault. For example, maybe on the day that we got our rewards, let's say it was, I don't remember the rewards of that season, but we know it's Scutum. Let's say it was Scutum, Black Roscoe, and the Infiltrator suit, okay? Maybe, like, you got in the game, you got your rewards, you got a CVE or a forced refresh, you backed out, you went back in, and you got the rewards again. We wouldn't know if you got double suit. We wouldn't know, obviously, you're not going to get double heroes. We wouldn't know if you got double Roscoes, especially now, because you could get Roscoes and incursions, so you can hide that. Maybe something happened that people got double Scutums because the game gave it to them. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But that might explain why it's always double Scutum and not double anything else. Double Covert is good. Like, especially during the Emma season. If you had an Infiltrator agent and Emma, both Infiltrators, both running Covert, that's good. I don't know why it's always double Elite. Double Scutum. It doesn't make sense to me. And it's not like you can hide Scutum better than double Covert or double Revitalizing. They're both equally as visible. Why not? I mean, you're going to realize, wait a minute, I got drained on Null and the Agent? Like, duh. You're going to mouse over both of them anyway, so I don't know. I don't really understand that. Unless it was a game fuck-up. If it was a game fuck-up, that might be why Playdom hasn't taken action against it yet. Maybe because they're like, yeah, sorry, it was our own fault. And maybe they don't know how to. You know, how do you write code that just deletes one of them? And then you're going to have to release something, because then, you know, if you are running double scutum, how do you know which one is suddenly losing it? But I've seen a lot more cheaters this season that I'm happy with, especially at the higher levels. There are people who have no business being there. People running like 4 gear slots instead of 5, missing ISOs, having 10 heroes. If you think you're facing cheaters against your defensive team, I would recommend one thing highly. Check out their heroes and look for a Quicksilver. If you see a Quicksilver and the Quicksilver is high level, if you can tell it, that's probably a cheater. If you think they don't belong there and they have a Quicksilver, that's probably how they're getting it done. And secondary to that, I would say Spitfire. But Quicksilver's more likely because you could just get Quicksilver. So, and a lot of people are talking about that. We're seeing a lot of that this season. Now, in the future, of course, we have to consider the next chapter, next season. Who knows what's going to happen there? There was rumors that the next chapter is going to give us the remaining 2 worthy, Black Knight and Ghost Rider together, and some people are like, well, that doesn't make sense. They won't give us 2. Well, you know, think about it from Playdom's perspective. Playdom might be like, you know what? We are so tired of hearing about the worthy, and all you people crying salty tears to nerf the worthy, and then we do, and then everybody's not happy because it's too much. Angrier was good, now Angrier is a turd pile. Null was good, he's bad, he's good, he's bad, he's good, he's bad. He's bipolar, freaking meteor stacks, depressive. Kurth, yeah, we should have nerfed Kurth a long time ago, but we didn't. They might just be so tired about hearing of the worthy, they're gonna like, you know what? We're just gonna cat puke up a hairball of the remaining 2 worthy, and we're gonna leave it right in the center of the friggin' floor for you to step in, and then we're done. And we don't want to talk about the worthy anymore. We're not Marvel Worthy Alliance, we're Marvel Avengers Alliance. We want to be done with the worthy, so you all just shut up about the worthy. And then we're going to go on to other stuff. It's going to be the last chapter. We're going to have a new season. We're not going to deal with the worthy anymore. Maybe we'll even give you the mighty to combat the worthy. Who knows? But we're just going to get off the fucking worthy already. So here they are. Just there it is. Eat all your peas and carrots and your vegetables, and you can get dessert later. Like, that's maybe what they're doing. Their ADD might be kicking in. They might be like, yeah, we're done. Time to move on to other things. We have no more focus for this, so who knows? But I guess we'll find out hopefully soon. But Playdom,
give us the hand of apocalypse for the movie.
screw the little ball in, put it on the stick, give it to us. See everybody, stay tuned to the Twitch channel on Monday sometime after 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the wrap-up of PvP, and we will be streaming during the last hour so we can all share in the ulcers together. See everybody.